So hi again. I have this DC to DC from my previous video, if you've seen it, and the problem with it is that it can give out up to 50 volts, between 10 to 50 volts, and I would like to get out of it more than 60 volts, between 60 to 70 volts. So I need to do a change in the circuit. Is it simple? Basically yes, it shouldn't be a big problem to do it, and I will explain. If you've seen my previous video, basically this is an oscillator and Mosfet, and we drive in the coil and we have a voltage, and by turning these trimmers, potentiometers, we change the resistance, and the resistance is changing the oscillation frequency, and by this we can get a higher voltage. Of course, if I would like to get a higher voltage, I will have to increase the frequency of the oscillation. And by looking at the datasheet of this chip, so this is a TL494. A TL494 is switch mode pulse width modulation control circuit. And by looking at the datasheet, I found that there is a capacitor and a resistor. There is a 10K resistor connecting to another 10K potentiometer, and we have here a capacitor that I don't know its value. I don't want to take it out because I think I can manage without changing it. What I will do, I will change this resistor by adding a parallel resistor on top of it. And of course this is not enough, because the output capacitors are just up to 50 volt. I will have to change them to 100 volt, and also I've checked the Mosfet, and the Mosfet is also about 50 or 60 volts voltage between drain to source. So I found an older Mosfet that can handle 100 volt. So what I have to do is basically change three parts. Change these capacitors of the output to 100 volt, change this Mosfet to Mosfet with a voltage drain source of 100 volt, and add a parallel resistor to the 10K resistor. I need to calculate how much percent I need to add, but if it was maximum, let's say 50 volts, I would like to have about 40% higher. So before applying any change, let's test the voltage before doing any changes. So I will apply 12 volts, 1 amp. We have 54 volts. I see. Let's see if this is the maximum. Yes, this is the maximum, and I can't go up. So we have 55 volts, and I want about 70 or maybe 80 volts. I can go down, of course. I will go to 25 volts, something like this. And now I will try to apply all the changes. We will replace, this is the output capacitors, because the voltage will be higher and the output is going to the capacitors. We will change the resistors that I said, the 10K resistor, and we will change, of course, the Mosfet, because otherwise it will explode. It will not handle the maximum voltage between the drain to the source. So let's start to do the changes. completed. Second part. Now of course we need to connect this guy. It will also not be easy, as you've seen, because wow, it's so hot. So eventually I succeeded to do it, but I did some other thing because it was not enough to replace this Mosfet and this capacitor, of course, to 100 volt. And basically these are the components. I've tried, after replacing them, it was still maximum 55 volts, and I was searching about the feedback of the circuit, and I found there is R4 which was not in the circuit. I have added R4 2.2K in order to get above 80 volts. This is part of the feedback that the pulse modulation is taking and doing in a comparator, looking at the output voltage and doing a reference to the control unit here. So I will show you now about the voltage. So it's already 45 volts. Let's go up and see what voltage we can get. So you see already 45, 46. Okay, the maximum before the change was 55 volts. So now we are about above 55, 60, and we have already 70 and 82 volts, and it's going up. I don't need more than this, and I don't want something to explode. So this is basically all you need to do. Replace the capacitor to 100 volt. Replace the Mosfet to Mosfet that can handle 100 volt, and then add in R4 a resistor of 2.4K. Without the resistor you get to 55 volts, and if you're adding a resistor you can get above. So you need to calibrate as much as you need, and that's all. So succeeded to do the change to this circuit. That's all. Thank you and bye.